Hello and welcome. You're watching the news track. I'm Rahul Kamal. The latest update we are getting in the mammoth rescue operations that are currently underway in Uttarakhand is that the rescue teams have made substantial progress in their efforts. We're being told that the auger machine has been able to drill in quite substantially, horizontally, getting quite close to where the workers are currently stuck. While officials on the ground aren't giving a specific time for when a breakthrough is expected, they're saying it's likely to happen soon. And that means that there finally will be light at the end of this very long tunnel. We're keeping our fingers crossed, getting you all the latest reports from the ground in this story that's being tracked widely as India prays for the safe rescue of these 41 trapped workers. And that's my top focus on the news track.
Tunnel crisis end in sight. Nail-biting final rescue phase. Workers just 80 meters away. Critical drilling complete. Breaths held for final push. That is our big focus on News Track.
We'll go across live to the Silkiara tunnel in just a moment from now to get you the latest on the rescue operations. But before that, let me take you through the headlines I'm tracking tonight. Rescue teams inch closer to the 41 trapped workers in the Uttarakhand tunnel. 21-member NDRF team ready with special oxygen packs to enter the tube to get the workers out. 4 army soldiers killed in an encounter with terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri. Gunfight underway. 2 terrorists are trapped. BJP files complaint against Rahul Gandhi for his bad omen jibe at the Prime Minister. Complaint filed with the Election Commission. National Herald case haunts the Gandhis again. Enforcement Directorate attaches properties worth 751 crore rupees. Congress cries vendetta, says ED action a result of Rahul Gandhi's Panoti remark. 41 days since the Israel-Hamas war broke out, Israel gives nod to a 4-day ceasefire in return for the release of 50 Hamas hostages. 150 Palestinian prisoners will be freed in this exchange. The latest that we are getting from Ground Zero is that rescue teams have made substantial progress in their efforts to get the trapped 41 workers out. We're told that they're very close to being able to make a crucial breakthrough, at the end of which NDRF personnel will enter the tunnel that's been created to pull each of those workers out. In a moment from now, we'll have officials of the NDRF and also the National Disaster Management Authority joining us to talk about all the updates from the ground. But before that, let me take you through all that happened at Ground Zero all through the day today.
In full swing. The metaphorical light at the end of the tunnel is growing brighter. Delving deeper, pipes penetrating through the debris, now 36 meters inside.
हमारी ड्रिलिंग ऑगर मशीन द्वारा वो शुरुआत हमने की रात को करीबन 1:45 बजे। 39 मीटर हमारी ड्रिलिंग हो चुकी है और हमने पाइप भी 800 mm का उसमें प्लेस कर दिया है। बारकोड साइड से भी हम हॉरिजॉन्टल ड्रिलिंग कर रहे हैं, उसमें भी हमारी तीसरी ब्लास्ट हो गई रात को और वहां से भी हम अभी 7.9 मीटर लगभग 8 मीटर हम उधर से भी प्रवेश कर चुके हैं।
Heavy duty machinery navigating through both horizontally and vertically.
This is 6-meter distance, 800 diameter of this pipe, and the reporter is going inside. Amit Bharadwaj is inside, and now let's count the seconds that it takes. It's now going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and on 25th second, Amit was able to cross the 6-meter length. Now, this also depends on the fitness of those workers, and they must be really very exhausted, totally isolated, quarantined in a dark tunnel.
Rescue efforts approaching their final stages, hoping for a successful conclusion.
As regards to the operation, things seem to be going well. I don't say any more than that. We're 38 metres in and we're continuing, so we're not stuck. We've started progressing again. 38 metres. 38 metres. 38. Yes.
Medical support ready, ambulances strategically positioned around the 4 to 5 kilometer Silkiara tunnel, where 41 workers are trapped due to a possible landslide on Diwali. Hot meals are being delivered through a slender pipe. Oxygen supplies adequately maintained. According to government sources, rescue appears imminent. Already halfway through the debris, efforts underway to push through the pipe wide enough for the trapped men to crawl out. With Ashutosh Mishra at the Silkiara tunnel, Bureau Report, India Today.
I want to go across to two of our colleagues who are joining us. They've been reporting from different ends of the tunnel. Ashutosh Mishra has been joining us from Silkiara. We've got Amit Bharadwaj, who's been reporting largely through the day from the Barcode side. Thank you very much to our reporters who've been doing a superb job, giving our viewers a very real sense of the challenges at play. Ashutosh, I can see it's getting increasingly cold up in the hills as we approach December. Tell us, from all that you've understood through the day, how long might it be before the horizontal drilling that's going on is able to make a breakthrough and get to where the trapped workers are?
Well, Rahul, the good news is that you are very close to the breakthrough, and probably as we speak, there could be good news coming out any moment. Let me tell you, the last pipe is on the way. While there has been some obstruction, remember the part of the the tunnel that way it has collapsed. There are multiple debris along with the metallic structure. So there is one iron rod which is now obstructing the drilling, and as we speak, an abrasive blade with a side cut has been sent. The special equipment tool that has been sent, and one personnel within the tunnel, in the micro tunnel, is now cutting down a metal sheet. So this is the last metal structure which is obstructing the operation, and the moment it is cut down, 21 persons from the NDRF with the special SCBA mask with the oxygen, because these personnel will be entering through crawling in the tunnel, literally crawling down nearly 57 to 60 meters across to reach the workers, and that will be no less than a joy moment for both the side, for both the rescuers and the trapped workers. At the moment they go, they are carrying 2 stretchers which are equipped with wheels. So because remember, Rahul, in the morning when I tried to walk through these narrow tunnels for 6 meters, it was very exhausting. There could be claustrophobia, and these personals from NDRF are carrying also masks, because it may take at least 4 to 5 minutes to go to other side. So they would require oxygen. That's why exactly they are equipped with the SCBA mask. Once they reach, the special stretcher will be used to to rescue out all these trapped workers in 41 number, one after one. So because there is a wheel, so the total time from one end to another may maximum take 1.5 minutes. In that case, the entire operation will be over in 15 minutes. We are waiting for a final breakthrough, as in when these this machine is able to penetrate through the last structure, last pipe inserted. We will see this hearing right behind me, this entire operation. This is the closest look that we can have from my camera here from the top angle. There's all personnel inside, special teams inside, all the foreign expert, different agencies, authorities, they are just putting their last effort, and this could be a moment, Rahul, that any moment, any hour, any minute, we will hear about a breakthrough, because so far this has been very exciting day for all the rescuers. It was a day when, first sending a lifeline, first sending food, and today, literally there was a celebration when they heard that finally we've been able to, to neutralize the boulder that was obstructing the operation. So this is just could be a night, probably late, but sooner or later they'll be out, Rahul.
Amit Bharadwaj, are we to imagine that the trapped workers will have to crawl out like you were in that video that you were doing? Or will they be actually pulled out in a wheeled stretcher in the manner that Ashutosh was describing? Because now, as the tunneling process is completed, the critical question will shift to how the rescue is actually carried out.
Absolutely right, Rahul. The big question is as to how these workers will be coming out. Early in the morning when we were discussing with the experts and the officials from the agencies, they were referring to a telescopic structure of the tunnel which is being created. There's already a 900 mm diameter pipeline which was installed till 22 meters. After that, there were hurdles because of which 800 mm diameter pipelines were installed. And there were possibilities that if in the, towards the end there are more hurdles, 700 mm pipeline could be installed further, which meant that the possibilities of inserting or putting a stretcher inside that particular tunnel was very unlikely. But the good part out here is that so far the pipelines which have been installed, it's all 800 mm diameter pipelines in which the stretchers can move very freely. So as Ashutosh was referring to, those stretchers have wheels, so clearly these workers can be put on those stretchers, and from both ends the NDRF personals could be seen pulling it and bringing those workers out. We have also heard that certain workers inside the tunnel still have the moral capacity, this physical strength, and they are morally on a bit high ground right now, and they are in a state that they are saying that they can also come out on their own. But the NDRF professionals who have gone inside, the NDRF Jawans who have gone inside, they are going to take care of the entire rescue operation once that final pipeline is installed. One more important update, Rahul, the entire speed of installing the rescue tunnel has been slowed down by the authorities, and it is for a reason. They don't want to go in a hurry, don't want to create any haste in the last moment, because this is the time when maximum precision is required. You can't afford to commit any mistake in the last moment, which can, create a critical situation. So that's why the speed has been slowed down to make sure that the rescue can be conducted as soon as the tunnels are installed.
Amit Bharadwaj and Ashutosh Mishra will come back to you for more updates as that final breakthrough is made. Workers inside the tunnel are safe. They've been finally given hot food. Essential supplies like clothes have been sent to them. Their families outside are waiting, as is the rest of the country, for these trapped workers to be brought out safely.
घर भी बेचना पड़ा है, मेरा खेत भी बेचना पड़ा है, मेरे बच्चे को बाहर निकाल दो, जल्दी से जल्दी बाहर निकाल दो, मेरा सब कुछ बेच दो, मेरे बेटे को यहाँ पहुँचा दो जल्दी से जल्दी।
यही प्रार्थना की कि वो जल्द से जल्द बाहर आ जाए। लोगों का कहना है कि जब से यहाँ पे मंदिर तोड़ा गया तब से ये सब कुछ हो रहा है। बड़ी बड़ी मशीनें आ रही हैं यहाँ पर, सारी फेल हो जा रही हैं।
मैया कोई ना दुख दिखाया।
हमारे रिश्तेदार का 9 दिन हो गया है। लगभग हम लोग यहाँ पर ठहरे हुए हैं, 5 दिन हो गया है। हम लोग आशे पर आशा लगाए बैठे हैं।
जब अंदर जाने के बाद तो फोन तो नहीं लगेगा सर, नहीं।
अब क्या उम्मीद लगा के बैठी हैं आप लोग? प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं रोज भगवान से?
प्रार्थना तो रोज करते हैं।
आज तो बंधी होगी, उम्मीद बंधी होगी कि अब सब लोग अंदर।
ये तो देख लिए, लेकिन उसका चेहरा उसमें हम नहीं देखे।
वो थोड़ा दुख है।
हाँ, उसमें तो दुख तो है।
अब मंजीत जब टनल से बाहर आएगा तो क्या करेंगे आप?
हम इतनी खुशी करेंगे कि हम अंदर से कील के नहीं दिखा सकते, हमारे मन में है जो हम करेंगे। तो
मंजीत को फिर दोबारा यहाँ काम करने देंगे, गांव ले जाएंगे?
हमारे गांव का कहना है, लोग हैं हमारे गांव में जो आपके जैसे जो भले लोग कहते हैं कि एक बार आ जाए, हमको जाने नहीं देंगे।
एक पल भी नहीं रुकने दूंगा, सीधे अपने भाई को लेकर चला जाऊंगा गाँव।
पहले बेटे को आप खो चुके हैं और
मंजीत नहीं खोना चाहते सर। यही हमारा एक बांसुरी है, यही गुण गाते हैं कि माँ वैष्णो जिस तरीके से श्रीधर की लाज बचाई थी सुलोचना की, इसी तरीके से बचा ले जाए माता वैष्णो। आने में देर तो जरूर हो रही है, जब माँ हम कहेंगे आ गए तो जागो जागो, तो हमें पूरा विश्वास होगा, नहीं तो माता विश्वास से उठ जाएगा चमत्कार अपना दिखाने।
Okay, I'm joined at this time by senior member of the National Disaster Management Authority, General Hasnain. You know him ordinarily in his capacity as a strategic affairs expert. He's also associated with the NDMA, so he'll join us to talk about that. Narinder Singh Bundela joins us, Inspector General of the NDRF. I want to go across to General Hasnain first. General Hasnain, how far away are we from finally having the good news that India has been waiting for more than 250 hours now?
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, first of all, for inviting me for this program. It's a very important program. The whole of India must be watching it. And as to your question, it's a very, very relevant question which is being asked for the last very few days. But I would always place a caution. The job being done is hugely technological, is being wonderfully done, with equipment fabricated, improvised, everything. But the geology of the Himalayan region is not a geology with which you can have any predictions. You know, the kind of obstacles we came across on the 16th, 17th of November, those kind of obstacles put us off by almost 5 days. So, therefore, I will hold my horses, but I will definitely say we are far better off than we were yesterday. When we started at 12:30 at night, carrying out the work with the auger at the Siliara end, from that moment onwards, there has been a hope built up, and it has, in a way, continued to build up, and there has been no major obstacle to it. Although a bit of hiccups here and there have been encountered in the duration of this period.
How are you planning the rescue operation itself? Once the pipeline reaches near where the workers are, can you explain and describe to our viewers the preparation that you've made to actually bring these workers out?
Yes, although Mr. Bundela is here on your program, I'm very glad that you have the IG NDRF. We've been in touch with him and the Director General himself. The NDRF has got 2 teams there. They've been doing some wonderful work. Their presence itself is very reassuring, and they have been rehearsing, practicing, exercising for this moment, if it comes through. They have improvised means, they've got options. If the workers have sufficient strength after 11 days to be able to crawl out themselves, then that would be the ideal option. But in case some difficulties are encountered there is a psychosocial effect of claustrophobia, etc., which could be possible, not necessary. Then in that case, they are also catering for stretchers. Now, this is a 900 millimeters, started with 900 millimeters bore of the pipeline which has been made, reduced down to approximately 800 millimeters, which is about 80 centimeters. I have been reassured, and I have full faith in the NDRF that they will be able to, their very, very brave Jawans will be able to go in and bring out those people who cannot come out on their own. Give them some kind of a motivation, morale, and if necessary, place them on stretchers and pull them out.
So are people expected to crawl on all fours and come out, or do you plan to bring them out on stretchers?
No, I think the best and the fastest means. I would say it's very important that we bring them out as quickly as possible. Because with this kind of geology, as I said, everything is unpredictable here. So the faster they come out, the better it is. And I would say the fastest way is to come out on your own all fours yourself. If they have that capability, that assessment will be obviously made when the breakthrough finally happens. But I think now with fresh food having gone in, vitamin tablets having gone in, and the fact that they have not been in an enclosed space, and the perception outside has been that they have been sitting almost in a mine. It's not that. The distance from where they are trapped to the other end, the unopened end of the tunnel on the other side, is almost 2 kilometers. And they have had light inside because the power cable did not get disrupted at the time when the tunnel fell at that particular time. So they have got this, they've had water with them, and mercifully we've had a 4-inch pipeline in the beginning through which some emergency rations were sent. They've had oxygen supply coming in the sense fresh air coming in through these various pipes, and since day before yesterday night, the 6-inch pipeline which has got through and through which a fair amount of food and other requirements have been sent to them.
So what's your worst case scenario now in terms of the possibility of the pipelines that have been set going into where these trapped workers are, possibly coming under stress, because ultimately something led to that tunnel collapse. So how are you trying to ensure that the pipes that have now been put in don't come under any kind of geological pressure and don't collapse?
There is a certain amount of cladding which is going on simultaneously, and I think Mr. Bundela will be able to explain it to you technically far better. But obviously the Ministry of Road and Transport and Highways has the engineers have ensured this. The Indian Army engineers are there and assisting them with this. I think there's a fair capability that the pipeline which has gone in is reasonably robust, although the weight of all that debris is on it. There's no doubt about it. And that's the reason why I'm insisting that the faster we come out from there, the better it is.
Okay, I'll leave it there for the time being. General Atta Hasnain for joining us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I'm joined on this broadcast by Dr. Nimesh G. Desai. He's a senior consultant in psychiatry and mental health. Remember, for the past 254 hours, these workers have been trapped in a fairly enclosed space, uncertain about what may happen. So would they be potentially suffering from mental trauma? How should they be dealing with that? How do you bring them out into the open again? Cyrak Joseph joins us, founder and chief executive at Squadron Infra and Mining, one of the companies that's been contributing in this rescue effort. I have Professor C.S. Dubey, who's a geologist, and Narendra Bundela, the Inspector General of the NDRF. Let me go across to Dr. Nimesh Desai first there. Dr. Desai, now these workers have been trapped for about 255 hours, right? Naturally, they're under all kinds of stress and trauma. If you had to talk to them, what would you be telling them at this moment, and especially about coming back, because they've been through what to them would be a very like a near-death experience?
I would say this: in the last 11 days, progressively their anxiety and trauma would have been lessened each step by step. And so now in the final moments, we just need to enhance that reassurance that's been provided by so many agencies and the knowledge in the workers' mind that everybody is working for their rest. I mean, most of them being able-bodied, adult men, workers, you also expect a better level of physical and psychological resilience. You know, if they were disabled or elderly people or people with medical problems, they would be much more worried. So all that really is required at this point is very strong reassurance, possibly some amount of support for expression of anxiety, fear, and as General Hassan said, if at all there are people with claustrophobia or those tendencies for not being able to crawl through. Once they are out, there'll be really a need for more of what's called trauma-informed counseling. And having worked with NDMA earlier, I'm sure NDMA and NDRF will take care of that.
No, so give me a sense of that. Is this trauma something that stays with you forever? Because, for example, if you served in the armed forces, very often we see cases of post-traumatic stress disorder. So when you've been through a traumatic experience like this, does that memory then haunt you? How do you counsel people to get over that?
Fortunately, for most people, it does not. I must say this with all respect to the American establishment in science, that the PTSD, while a valid clinical entity seen across the globe, it's certainly much more of a political, economic concept enhanced by the American situation of post-Korea and post-Vietnam Gulf Wars. There's very good evidence from such incidents as well as big disasters that South Asian cultures actually have much more of a resilience and protection against PTSD. Now that coupled with all the counseling I'm sure that will happen should really reduce drastically the possibility of any PTSD.
Dr. Desai, for joining me, thank you very much. Sairak Joseph at the Squadron Infra and Mining Limited. Give our viewers a sense of the efforts that you've made in this rescue operation, the challenges that have been encountered by those who've been involved in the rescue, and your sense of how long it might be before finally we're able to get some good news.
Yeah, thank you, Rahul, for bringing me into the program. So we are we are from Bangalore, and then we got a call last evening from Brigadier Vishal Verma and from Colonel Deepak Patil, and I was amazed by the spirit and energy which they asked us to just when we had to air dash to. My team has already reached there, and we are all there is the number of experts working together, coordinating multi-expertise, and we are all there ready to see. There are two things. We got drone based sensors which can go into inaccessible areas. It flies autonomous. So if there is something, we are all one thing is the important is to rescue the people inside there. Apart from that, it's also important the safety of the.
So what have you done? You've sent drones into that pipe.
Yeah, we are all standby, not into the pipe, into the as Professor Lieutenant General Syed told us, the geology is complicated, so we need to assess that. So we are ready with that. If there's anything, we need to assess that and immediately take charge, so that the rescue operation is unhindered. It is seamless. So we are there. We got a team of 6 people there. We got a and we got a team back here at office 24 hours. We are online to support the entire team. We are there to support the entire team with these any requirement. Anytime we need to assess it, we quickly do that, and then we give back. So you get an informed decision making for the entire rescue operations. And this is
so
something.
It's good to see that all the tech that is at our disposal is being deployed to ensure that every aspect of this rescue operation has the best technology available. Sairak Joseph, we'll track what you do carefully. Thank you for joining me. I want to go across to Professor C.S. Dubey, well-known geologist. Professor Dubey, now obviously something went wrong, which is what led to this tunnel collapsing, and that will be the matter of a post-mortem. How do we ensure that that doesn't happen again? Do you think that adequate safeguards are being made in the Char Dham road widening project to ensure that you're able to deal with this? Is this a case of individual neglect or individual error, or do you think that this could be symptomatic of what we may be dealing with in that entire region with this massive road construction activity?
Well, look, the roads are being made a lot in the Himalayan area, but the tunneling has been a very few cases. The tunneling is there. When you do the tunneling, you have to see the inner structure and the outer structure of the rocks and the kind of rocks. What are their strength, especially the strength of the rock. We assess the rock mass rating of the rock. We see whether the rock is stable or not. There are fractures, there are faults, or there are any thrusts, or there are any active faults are there. So that is there especially in the Uttarakhand region and the Char Dham region. It is the most of the places where these tunnels are going. They are going from a very, very fragile rocks, because when you start from the lesser Himalaya side, most of the rocks are very fragile. When you go upper and upper, they become hard. But then the question comes up from which side you are drilling. If you are drilling the rocks with the vibration and the kind of, if you are doing some kind of a tunnel boring machine, even then it's better. But if you are doing with the simple manual methods or the automatic methods without doing some, more of the more systematic manner, you're not doing it, you're bound to have these kind of, fractures and the subsidence and the landsliding. Most of the places where this occurs they are actually old landslides. So we have to study those things. For example, the big boulder which comes up down there like this, it is actually a debris cum boulder. So it could not be a rock type, a soft rock or a hard rock. Yes, then definitely the soft rock I saw on the top of that is a very soft rock, and it is bound to come down as a debris. We have to be very careful when we are putting them out of the tunnel, because though the casing, I could see that they have doubled or tripled the casing. They are trying to triple the casing, and they should make the strength to the pipeline. But crawling, it depends on the strength of the people, how they come out. In fact, I see the geotechnical and technical geological aspects are very, very important, because the engineers generally, I'm very frank to say that generally what happens is a geologist is a must in that places, because geotechnical engineers and the technical persons, engineering, civil engineering people, they have less ideas of what is going to happen. So it is geology, geotechnical aspects are must, and they should be on a very scale like 1:10 scale or 1:100 scale. They must be measured and see where are these kind of problems are there in the rocks. I think that has to be taken care in all the tunnels which we are going to make, whether it is a tunnel in the now 40 tunnels are being constructed in India. I have come to know that different places, whether it is between below the sea or on the Char Dham or at different places. This is good, it should be there, but we have to be very, very careful when we are making these structures, especially for the kind of a place. What has happened here is that we didn't we have not thought of the escape routes. We have not thought of the safety measures, and those safety measures and escape routes should be must beforehand, and they should be prepared. The plan should be better than we are going to construct.
Professor Dubey, for joining me. Thank you very much. Hopefully some of the concerns that you've laid out will be kept in mind in the evacuation, so that pipe that's been laid, which you saying has been reinforced, is actually able to take the pressure of bringing these workers out safely. I want to go across to Narinder Singh Bundela, Inspector General of the NDRF, now joining us. Remember, these are the guys who will actually carry out the rescue mission. So it's his people who will be going into that pipe, speaking to the workers first. So they're the first people from the outside these trapped workers will be speaking to. They'll get a sense of what's happening and then pull them out. So thank you, Mr. Bundela, for joining us. Inspector General, I want you to explain to our viewers your assessment of the current situation in the Silkiara Barakot tunnel and your sense of how this operation is proceeding at this moment. Mr. Bundela.
So currently, a lot of central teams, the project is being led by NHIDC and other central government agencies, including NDRF, BRO, Indian Army, Railways, and other agencies. Those who have expertise in that area, they are also getting involved in the process, as all of us know. And state agencies, district administration, SDRF, and medical services, central government medical service, they are also getting involved in the process. And we have the agencies have made various plans. One of the most important plan is boring the tunnel, the sidewall from which it has collapsed, and hopefully that should come through. And from there, that is the prime target right now. From there, we should be able to rescue the trapped personnel inside the tunnel.
That auger machine that's been sent there seems to have made substantial progress. Explain why that horizontal drilling using the auger machine is making more progress than the other approaches which were being attempted, including the attempt to try and go in from the top.
So as reported, the auger machine is working right now, and they are drilling at the site, and they have been able to make access. They have gone deeper inside the tunnel now with the help of the auger machine. And so that is one positive step agencies have taken, and definitely we will get a positive report sooner.
So you've sent hot food, some clothing to the workers from your people who are in touch with them. What are they telling you? How are the workers doing? What's their mental condition? How are their spirits?
So one good thing is that with the new pipeline which has been laid, 6 inch, they are getting warm food, sufficient water, and we have better access to them. They have been, authorities are in contact with them through communication network also, and they are able to talk to all of them. And so far, what has been reported that all of them are in good condition. And so we are working on the step to evacuate them once we get the access through through the machine.
So it is the NDRF, the National Disaster Response Force, that has to pull these workers out once that pipeline has been laid all the way to the workers. Give us a sense of your preparation at this moment, your planning. How do you actually execute this rescue mission once the engineers have laid that pipe?
Yeah, so authorities are already talking to them. They have done the assessment of all the workers, those who are inside. And once our team goes inside, we will decide who would be going from outside to inside. We will be sending NDRF or SDRF also to inside, and then we will assess their condition, and accordingly we will make an evacuation plan one by one. So the important thing is that all of them have to be evacuated safely and without any problem, so that they can be taken care of.
How do you intend to deal with the workers once they're out? Do you think some of them may need to be hospitalized or given medical care? What about having psychiatrists and mental health experts there to deal with the kind of trauma that they've been through? Can you give us a sense on how you're planning the medical evacuation part of this?
So Ministry of Health, the central government team is also involved in the process. State government health authorities are also involved in the process. So they have already coordinated and chalked out their action plan. And as per the medical condition of the workers and those who are inside the tunnel, action would be taken in coordination.
Okay, we'll leave it there for the time being. Mr. Bundela, thank you very much for joining us and giving us your best sense of how this operation is growing. So as I said, NDRF personnel will be going in once the tunnel is completed, talking to the workers, getting a sense of how they're doing, how they're feeling, figuring out who should be pulled out first. Now the workers could be pulled out either by because it's not vertical, so they need to be pulled out with a rope. They need to either crawl through the pipe or they can be put in wheeled stretchers and pulled out. So both those options will be there, and that call of course will be taken by the NDRF personnel who go into the tunnel once the entire pipeline has been laid. It's a very complex, intricate operation, and we're trying to bring all the latest updates for our viewers here on India Today. The Singhania family saga has taken a dramatic turn. Days after a video of Gautam Singhania's estranged wife, Nawaz Modi, being allegedly stopped from entering the house went viral, serious accusations of domestic violence have come out. Nawaz Modi spoke to senior writer Sangeeta Wadhwani for India Today. Here are excerpts from their exclusive conversation that's been viraling all across.
We are at the Thana Gate, JK Gram, for a party that I was invited to, and now I am stopped from entering.
Fireworks in a 32-year-old relationship.
So who has given you these instructions?
No, I'm just saying you are not in the guest list.
I'm very much in the guest list. You made a mistake by inviting me. Shall I show you the guest list? I'm part of the private party. I spoke at it last year.
Nawaz Modi allegedly denied entry at a Diwali party hosted by her husband and Raymond Group chairman and MD Gautam Singhania in Thane. Viral videos showed her at the gates, surrounded by staff and guards. Just hours later, Singhania announced the decision to part ways. Reports emerged of Nawaz Modi seeking 75% of Singhania's massive wealth in the divorce settlement. What was initially termed a personal matter has now escalated into an acrimonious public spectacle. Nawaz Modi has accused Singhania of domestic violence and shed light on her demands.
We had to leave JK House twice over on 10 September morning. One when we were physically thrashed up, and secondly when he physically then through his guards etc. had us thrown out of the building along with the cops. So there are three of us here on one side, him on the other. He has always said he wants to retire at age 58, which he is now. And he's been very, very worried about the three of us. What would we do after him? Because he'd already gotten rid of the rest of his family, who would actually run the business. It had to go three ways. And I was very fair to say, no, Gautam, your 25% nobody can touch. And then there's the three of us who have been very wronged and will still say that, no, you have to be put first regardless.
53-year-old Nawaz Modi claimed the Ambanis intervened, ensuring a non-cognizable offence report was filed. She explained why she initially did not file an FIR.
I did not convert it into an FIR because I'm still trying to save the unsavable. I'm still trying to say, do the right thing, settle us, blah, blah, blah. I'm still not pulling the trigger on you. I don't want to harm you, no matter what you've done to us. Okay?
I have been through and kept quiet about.
Nawaz Modi also sought to explain the severity of her condition.
The kind of injury I've suffered and the amount of days I've had to stay in the hospital, including the ICU, puts me in the worst category, which puts me in the grievous, what they call grievous injury category. Of course, all the reports are there. He's broken my S3. S3 is the third sacrum bone, the pivotal one where the upper body is held erect. Treatment is horizontal for many months, and then we'll see. These don't heal in any hurry.
Nawaz Modi spoke about her public appearances despite being allegedly attacked by her husband.
I told the docs I have my book launch happening on the 15th at Crossword. It's really important that my book is going to be a failure if I don't go for it, because there's no other date for it, because then it goes straight into Ganesh Visarjan, first day, third day, fifth day, then it goes straight into Dhanteras, then it goes straight into Dashera, then it goes straight into Diwali, and books are already out everywhere. You can't pull it back then it's a failure. Okay? So I was like, I can't let him do that to me also.
When reached out for his response to Nawaz Modi's accusations, Gautam Singhania refused comment, citing family privacy.
In the midst of these explosive accusations, the Singhania separation saga takes center stage. A private affair now exposed even before divorce proceedings are filed. Stay tuned as we navigate this high-profile separation. Divyesh Singh for India Today, Mumbai.
The Raymond Empire has a top line of about 8,400 crore rupees. You've seen Nawaz Modi asking for about 75% of that wealth. What's likely to happen next? To talk about this, I'm joined by Ruchika Mehta. She's editor-at-large at the India Today Group's Luxury and Lifestyle Division. Ruchika, this coup that you helped put together has been widely tracked all across. A lot of people talking about this bitter separation. There haven't been such public spats in India Inc. In quite some time. And in the few cases that there have been, like the Mafatlals, those smaller instances, not as big, not as dramatic. You've had the opportunity to speak to Nawaz. You've known her for a very long time. From what you've understood so far, give our viewers a sense of what's likely to happen next. She's asking for 75% of the empire. Is that a fixed demand, or do you think she's basically hoping to cut the best deal she can get?
Hi Rahul, good evening. So I guess, of course, it is a very high-profile public spat, also given the very high-profile image that a showman Gautam Singhania enjoys in the corporate circles. He is known to be a showman, so I guess he does attract even more limelight. The marital discord, probably, or what the circle, the murmurs in the circle are that they've been on for a long time. There has been dispute over the last couple of years. I guess the family was trying to settle amongst themselves. They have two grown-up, beautiful daughters. So between Gautam and Nawaz, they must have tried to mutually settle not the matrimony, but whatever settlement that Nawaz was seeking. I think when the settlement fell through and things were going out of hand, Nawaz decided to go public. And that's when she said that it's time to, as she says, it's time to expose Gautam Singhania. She did start off with the viral videos on her own, and I think we were the first ones. India Today is the first one she spoke with all her trust and confidence. This battle isn't going to end very soon, Rahul. It is going to go a long way. Raymond's is a very, very old legacy business house. There were a lot of stakeholders. Unfortunately, they've been all kind of eliminated or moved out, and only the 4 of them are left. I am not sure what Nawaz is asking for is fair. There are a lot of other public shareholders also involved in this. It's not only the family that the company has to go four ways between.
Okay, so let me explain that to our viewers. I looked up the Raymond Limited shareholding pattern for the quarter ended the 30th of September. 49.1% of it is with the promoter group. Most of this, about 48%, is with JK Investors, JK Helene Curtis, Invesco Trade, and the Sunita Devi Singhania Hospital Trust. But remember, the jewel in the crown there is this massive house, the JK House property in South Mumbai, which is said to be the most valuable part of the empire, valued at about 6,000 crore rupees. It's a 30-story structure spread over 16,000 square feet. And that's also where Gautam Singhania's many cars, his Lamborghinis and many cars are actually occupying many of those floors. So that's really what this battle is all about. Ruchika, it was interesting to see how in that interview that you brought together, there's a conversation about how the Ambani family stepped in. So Nawaz Modi actually reaches out to the Ambanis, and the Ambanis seem to be, from what Nawaz is saying, playing a very important role in helping counsel her, advise her. She goes to their hospital and also give her the legal backing and maybe work the phone lines with the police to ensure the case isn't quashed and isn't buried.
That's true. She has clearly said that she reached out to a lot of people for help and everybody declined, I guess, for whatever reason they did. She tried to call up the police various times. Police, even if they showed up, they were not allowed inside the house. They were stopped at the entrance by Gautam's men. So then she did reach out to the Ambanis, and apparently they did extend some support. I guess the final call before the Ambanis went from her daughter to the cops. That is when the daughter was trashed and she went into hiding into another room. So it was also dramatic at that point of time. I can understand what all the 3 women must be going through. So that's when she made the final call. The cops came, they were not allowed. And then, of course, the Ambanis helped her. She was taken to a hospital where she claims that her S2 bone was smashed. And it's not the collarbone like it has been in public domain. It was the S2 bone, which affects the spine and the upper part of the body. And then she was treated out there. She was counseled, and then she sought, probably refuge with her family. She comes from a very reputed legal family, and the girls and Nawaz at that point of time sought refuge with her, seek support from her family, and they are with the family.
So we will keep coming back to you as this story shapes up from here. For the moment, for that exclusive and that trend-setting story, Ruchika, thank you very much for joining us.